how it goes from scratch without you working your magic first.
Well, yeah, I want to see how he responds to you. I mean, you know, clearly horses can say, I don't really like this rider, but I like this one.
Yeah.
So the first thing I would do would be to just make sure that you can tell him, like one of the first things I always do is I tell a horse, I know how to stop your feet. I want to tuck this in here. We don't need one dangling around on him. I like to make sure that they hear me say, you know, because he'll stop for me doesn't mean he'll stop for you. It may come across different. You may have a different accent, so to speak.
So am I going to do the emergency stop or just say, whoa, and wait, see that he does?
You're going to do the emergency. You're just going to tell him, I know how to stop your feet.
Oh.
And that.
Oh.
Okay, so.
And you didn't want me to actually turn.
Yep. I wanted you to actually do that, so that way when he feels that, he knows that means stop. So that way, what you're doing is you're installing your brake, because when you want to bring him into a downward transition. Good. Now let him move. Good. So in this case, it wasn't so much to soften for you as much as it was to stop moving his feet. You can do it a couple, like say 3 times of just stop moving your feet, and then you can say, now I need you to soften too. Yeah, that went right down on his nose. Like, I don't want it that low, but yet it seemed like, no, it just seemed like it was too tight the other way, and then now it's too loose for me. Sorry, it's gonna surprise you. Alright, buddy, I don't want it that low. I want soft tissue. Because this way, once you have your brake installed, you have the ability to say, okay, now I need you to slow down. But yet, if you've never introduced that to him, he's not going to know what a left rein means. So that's how you explain to him what the left rein means.
He doesn't stop. He doesn't stop.
Yeah, he has to stop moving his feet the first 3 times, and then the 4th time you do it, you're just going to wait until he actually gives back to you also. I don't need... No, all the way, bring his nose all the way around to his elbow. All the way. Good? Good. So that's what I want him to kind of feel like he got put into a pretzel. So that way he can say, all right, I'd rather stop. So the next one you'll do the same. And then the next one you'll hold him here until he comes to you slightly. And it doesn't have to be like where he has to stay there, just so he comes to you slightly. Good. And you can even rub him to let him know that you weren't just trying to be like kind of a jerk. Because it's a jerky thing to do. Now wait for him to give a little bit. If he pulls against you, just don't let him have it. If he moves again, don't let him have it. You have to stay steady though, yep. Good. So now while you're standing there, I'm going to have you pull him around to his elbow gently. Now it's a guide. You're going to guide him and then you're going to ask for the give. So guide him around and then hold him there and look for the give. And just hold him until he gives. No, that's not a give. If he moves, you're just going to move with him and you're just not going to allow the movement. Yep. And just wait till he gives. Did he give? I didn't. Okay. Couldn't tell if he gave. If he pushed things forward. So we'll do one more, asking him to give. So the same exact, like polite, just guide him around and look for a give. Well, he was looking for the right answer. So he was just trying, what do you want me to do? So he was just looking for the right answer. So what I want to see him actually do, so he's around like this, I want to see him actually go in this way instead of this way. He went more, yeah, it looked more like his nose went forward than it did. No, that was a try. But he got rewarded on the wrong answer. So it's okay. He'll probably do it again because he thinks that's going to be the right answer. It's okay. Just say no. I'm sorry. I was wrong. So if he does it again, just hold him and don't give back. That he gave that time. It seemed where he came more. Okay, it seemed like it came to your elbow as opposed to straight forward. It was hard for me to. Let me just feel it so I see if he's actually giving. Hang on just for a second, buddy. Yep. There. So that was a true give. Good job. Yeah, it looked like he came to your elbow, but it did seem like it was a give to me, but the first time it felt like, right. Yeah, it's up to you if you feel like because he's listening. I usually do something to kind of make sure that they're listening before I get on him. I feel like he's listening to you. He's being, if you felt like you needed to do more you could set up a puzzle or something and just make sure, but he doesn't know all the stuff yet, so it'd be kind of the puzzle itself might end up being the whole thing. Yeah, so what you can do is that you can just now say, let's do this in the style. So now that's going to be your exercise, is you're going to say, so here's what it looks like on the ground. Now I'm going to show it to you while I'm on you. So you're just going to do the same thing, but on him. And then you'll walk him and ask him to stop again and make sure you hook the reins the other side too. You're doing it. I didn't know if you remembered it was detached. But the rein was detached from the other side. He's a good looking horse. He needs a top line, but he's a good looking horse. Yeah. I like him from the withers forward. He needs a little top line, but I like him from the withers forward. So if he's planning on doing anything silly, or he's going to tell us, oh, I'm a lot less confident than you believe. Yep, not up to your belly button, not up to your belly button. Yep, and just hold him until he stops. Yep, hold him until he stops, and then as soon as he stops, you're going to let go. Good, let go. So as soon as you can let go, you got the right answer. It's okay. So what I usually do is take both reins and then run this one down about half the distance and then bring them around. So that way you don't have a lot of rein. You had a lot of rein to do it with. And try to plan on bringing him down. The idea is you want him to put his nose, he's anticipating. There you go, that's better. He was anticipating you were going to do it. He started to. I know, it's tough stuff, huh? That proves he's smart. He's a smart egg.
Well, I have my habits too, and I have, a lot of training that I need myself, so I'm not fooling myself that I'm any kind of,
So if you were to reach back and touch his rump, I am going to suspect that you're going to be fingertips if you don't change the way you're sitting right now. So see if you touch his rump. Well, most of all, you changed it now. So if you didn't, so
too far from the
no, you were too rolled up. You were too much in a dancer's posture. You want to be more rolled onto your pockets. There you go. You can always, your whole body can be straight. It's just you want your tailbone to be under you enough so you have balance. one more if you want, but I think he gets it. So yeah, what I do is I make my body a little more alive, and I ask them to catch up with my body. I'm sure a big, strong guy like that can have a pretty hearty walk. Yeah. He's like, but they're calling me. So still only use the left rein though. You don't have to pull him all the way around for a hoe, but still use the left rein. So every time you get on him, until you have a successful time of getting on him and he doesn't spin his feet at all, then you know you have that fully installed. But if the first time you get on him again, you go to pull him around and he does a little spin, then you know that it's not fully installed. So that way when you really need it, it may not be working. Okay, so you want to make sure until you feel that that's fully installed, you keep working on that until it is. Then you can use when you need it. Especially for bucking and stuff like that, you're gonna want to be able to have that, because that'll stop them from bucking. Good, give him a little reward so that he knows that he was doing the right thing. So what I would do is I would take the approach with him that he doesn't know anything, and we're going to help him understand the language. So that way we're not making any assumptions. So based on that statement, we're going to kind of do everything like it's the first time he's ever done it, so we're going to reward him responding properly. Then we can start asking for more. So like you asked for probably about 5 steps, where really I would have asked for 1 to make sure he got it, and then I would have paused and said, you're right, this is what we're trying to do, and then ask for a couple more, instead of getting greedy right off the bat. Good. Good boy. I don't know. I don't know. I think he's got a bug. Let me see. Let's see. What you got going on, huh? Let's see. Something biting over there? You need the benefit of that noise? Okay. Only time you're getting that benefit, though.
Feeling like he's gonna test me here.
Yeah, then just insist that he continues forward. Like I was giving him the benefit of the doubt it was bug related. It could be a little bit of a communication.
Am I not doing this anymore?
Yeah, he's using that as an excuse. He's looking for excuses to be silly right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I can feel him tensing up under there, Keep it up, bud.
So what you can do is you can distract him by changing directions. Just go ahead and change directions. Yep. Took one hell of a kick to the leg, huh?
Yeah.
that's a nice walk he finally settled into. He had some weird little thing he was contemplating. I'm not sure what he was doing, but. So, just on a hunch, yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll see if we can just ask him to move forward when he does that. Because he may be saying, so, do I have a seat at this discussion table? And just, you know, he might be asking that question, and if he's asking that question, just kind of say, well, you know, I'm happy to hear what you have to say, but not with this. So then that's why I would ask him to just move forward. Say, no, we're not going to stop here and talk about this. Yeah, give him a little rub, let him know he's doing the right thing. Yeah. Go ahead and change directions and see if we have that same thing going the other way again. Yeah, push them forward a little bit. So, if you were on your own and you were thinking about still moving forward into asking for the jog, I call them pop quizzes, and I don't mean to put people on the spot, but often I feel if people answer it correctly for themselves and I don't feed them the answers, they're more likely to really learn it, and I think they get a little more confident in their ability to actually be right. So, with that being said, if you were to ask him to start trotting, like say you were evaluating this horse, if you were going to ask him to start trotting, what would you do? I guess I'm going to end up leading you to the right answer by saying, would you ask him to trot in this direction, or would you ask him to trot in the other direction?
I'd probably turn him around first, and then.
Why?
He's kind of dragging his feet, he's not really paying attention right now, or he wasn't for a minute there, I can do better now.
So if that was not bug related, he showed you some cards in this direction.
Oh, this was the direction we were going?
So I wouldn't say, please show me how many cards you got.
Yeah.
I'd say, let's go in the direction that you're behaving
Yeah.
better. Doesn't mean that it wasn't really a fly, but I would then opt to say, okay, you want to kind of protest in this direction. If I'm going to trot you, I'm going to trot you in the other direction because I'm going to set you up to succeed. Because if you set him up to fail, you're in meaning that he could potentially say, ooh, a little more speed, cool, now I can get up some, you know. This way, we can give him the benefit of the doubt that he will behave in this direction. So those are the little things that I look for. I look for ways to set them up to succeed and ways to avoid a problem. Where if there was potential for a problem, it was going to be in the other direction. If it wasn't the fly, you know what I mean? It's okay. He listened. So the only disadvantage of not practicing that will be that, you know, when you do want to kind of slow them down and you could have something as subtle as a lift of the left rein, you won't have it because it won't be practiced. So he's asking questions, but they're not questions about his education, they're questions about, do I have to? Do I have to?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, he's very reluctant. Yeah.
So he's telling me something else that if I were trying him out for myself, I would set us up to have kind of an incident Where would you ask him to start that trot and where would you definitely not? Well, where would you definitely not? We'll eliminate just, there is a place that I would not ask him to trot when I initially asked for the trot.
By the door.
Nope. Okay, so by that door down there. By that door down there.